Alright, so 1 month of the carnivore diet done, and as usual I'm going to go over all the things that I ate and how my body reacted and changed throughout the week. This video is actually going to be 2 weeks summarized because I've actually done a full 5 weeks of carnivore, so I've gone over a month. Very strict carnivore, and I'm going to be looking down at my paper a lot because it's 2 weeks and it's going to be more of like a summary, less detail in total, but it should be just as useful. So for week 4, I added in sardines and salmon roe and caviar as well. So this was like a trial week for fish to see if I could tolerate fish. And week 5, I did no fish. I just did eggs just to try to do the same thing. So I was just trying to isolate eggs to see if I could tolerate those well. And every day I had 3 pounds of grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef. And some days I had like maybe grain-fed steak or something, but most of the time it was grass-fed. And I had some uncured bacon as well, and little pork rinds. That was like standard. I would have those like 2 to 3 times a week regularly. So other than the diet, fish and eggs were what changed. Moving on to my skin. So during weeks 4 and 5, my skin seemed to actually react negatively to both fish and eggs, eggs especially. Week 4, I actually had a record of not treating anything on my skin at all with any kind of acne treatment, and I had no kind of blemishes or anything for like 5 or 6 days, which is a really good new record. So my skin was improving up until then. But once I started adding in fish, I would get like a new zit every couple of days, like just like one, like little one. I'd say like every 3 days. And I was kind of spot treating it with the benzoyl peroxide like usual. But then when I added in eggs, I had a huge breakout. So like I was having like a bunch of little red dots like forming everywhere. And for the first time in a month, I had to put benzoyl peroxide on my entire face. So I cannot eat eggs for whatever it is. It might be something else, but for now I'm going to completely take eggs out of my diet, and fish as well, because the fish didn't give me as bad of a reaction, but it didn't give me as good as a reaction as just eating beef. So I'm going to have to definitely eliminate those two for now and try to figure out what's going on with that. Because the reason I'm doing the diet is for the skin. That's the whole reason I started this. So just beef, the skin is working phenomenally. Beef, uncured bacon, and maybe some like lamb or pork rinds, just like red meat, just my skin is completely clear. So no eggs, no fish. I'm going to have to report back to you and get what's going on with that once I figure that out. Other than the skin, my digestion is actually improved compared to weeks 1 to 3. So weeks 4 and 5, I started having like more regular digestion. It was about 3 times a week, which is not good, but it was definitely better than before. And it was inconsistent though, so it wouldn't be like one day and then every other day. It would just be like 2 days in a row, like 3 or 4 days, no digestion, no bowel movement, and then fifth day maybe like just one little one and then stop, and then maybe I'll have like 3 in a row. It's just really inconsistent, and it's not a good digestion either. Some days it'll be like kind of dry, or some days it'll be a little bit more liquidy than it should be. So the digestion is not where I would like it to be at. And my energy though was definitely improving throughout both weeks, regardless of when I added in fish or eggs. It seemed like when I added those in, it didn't really affect my energy, but my energy was, by week 5, it was improving a lot. Week 4 was a little bit sluggish, but it seemed like week 5, I kind of came to like a regular energy level. So everything seemed to be kind of optimal, and kind of, my mental clarity was back to where I think it should be, and, my energy just seemed very, very good. And the gym energy as usual, the strength was increasing. I felt great in the gym, as I did before. So that really didn't change, but it's on a positive because I wouldn't want it to change. The strength did go up, and in my upper body like it was before, and my lower body it actually went up as well. So strength is really good in the gym. I feel good in there. Let's see. And oh yeah, my body composition through the time. On week 4, on day 1, I was weighing in at 196.6. And then the week later, week 5, on day 1, I was 196.6 as well. So I stayed exactly the same. And then by the end of the week 5, I was 195.2 at the end of the week. And it seems like I've kind of plateaued on weights, or my body weight rather. Seems like I've plateaued because it's really hard to eat any less if I did want to lose weight. So if I want to maintain, I eat about 3 pounds of beef a day, and I'll stay right about here, but it would be really hard to lose any weight on this diet from where I am right now. And it seems like when I get under like 195, kind of seems like my body's set point. If I get under 195, my hunger goes up. So regardless of how satiating the diet is, once I'm under 195, I get really hungry, and I'll eat like an extra pound or 2 of beef, and maybe I'll add in bacon on one day, and it seems like I gain like 3 or 4 pounds, mostly sodium and like the water weight from the sodium from the bacon. But it seems like I'll usually gain like a pound of fat maybe from that. So my body regulates itself with the body weight, and I stay pretty steady at like 195, 196 now. So if I did want to lose any weight, I'd have to do something different. Let's see. And I mean, that's all the main stuff. I would say it seems like 5 weeks is kind of what it took to get to normal. So I would say if you're going to do the carnivore challenge, do more than 4 weeks. I say do 5 weeks, just from my personal experience. It seemed like my energy level took that long to come to a normal point. My energy is not like superb. It's just like a regular, like how I felt before. So, oh yeah, and then also when I eat like a big meal, like I was saying, when I get really hungry and eat all that bacon and beef, my body is like really hot, and it feels like I ate a lot of carbs. So it's very similar to a refeed if you're familiar with those. It's like a distinct feeling, but I would be like really hot and like my like sweating a little bit, feel like bloated and stuff. So even though it's carnivore, if you eat a shitload of sodium and like a shitload of calories, your body is going to be in a fat storage mode and like a refeed kind of feeling, if you are familiar with that, which is kind of distinct. I thought it would be carbs only, but it does happen on carnivore as well. The same feeling. Oh yeah, other than that, I did forget to say for supplements, I added in boron. I added in liquid boron, and I took the bone meal that I was doing on week 3 to just 1 time a day, because I was doing it 3 times a day. It's way too much. So I just do the bone meal once a day, just 1 teaspoon. And I do boron. I do around 10 milligrams of the ion boron from the the liquid mineral drops that they give. It's a boron and ion form. And I do glycine, which I showed in my last video as well. And I do the glycine twice a day. And the boron actually felt really nice. So, or it didn't feel nice, but I felt really nice after the boron. I noticed that that's when my energy kind of started kicking up. So I would recommend supplementing with some sort of boron if you're going to be doing the carnivore diet, because right when my energy kind of felt normal around week 5, it was 2 days after I started doing boron. So I would highly recommend supplementing with boron, at least from my experience so far, because it is lacking in the diet. And the other two supplements are kind of whatever, but so far I would say the boron actually seemed to increase my energy level, possibly. Or it was just I was getting adapted through 5 weeks of carnivore. Other than that, there's really nothing much to say. I'm going to keep doing the carnivore. I really want to figure out why the eggs made my skin break out and why the fish kind of caused my skin to have a little issues. I actually do have some theories on it. I'll get into it in another video, but I think it's related to iodine, and it's causing my skin to break out through that. But if I just keep doing red meat and like uncured bacon, my skin will be fine. But by the next video, I'm actually going to be carved up, so by the time of week 6, I'm going to be starting to add in some carbohydrates to see if I can tolerate those. Because I actually like carbs. I don't think this is a long-term diet for me. I'm just trying to do it as a elimination diet. So I'm excited about that. I'm probably going to add in either just a fiber supplement or I'm going to be adding in a white rice. I just want to do one at a time to figure out what I can tolerate because I haven't had any carbs in 5 weeks now. So if you want to see that, give me a subscription, please, and give me a like. And if you have any questions for me or you just want to talk to me, leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys.